Guess what today is? Throwback Thursday. Strike a pose. Every Thursday, we're going to be getting on here and sharing memories from when the kids were little, to toddlers, to teenage years. Some they might remember, some they might not. They might even have memories of me and my husband, or of each other, the sibling rivalry. Borderline, feels like I'm going to lose my mind. Beat it, no one wants to be defeated. Whatever, gag me with a spoon. My name's Heather, and I'm married to Luke. I have 2 beautiful daughters and 6 handsome sons, and this is Just the Bells 10. Do you remember when you guys were out four-wheeling in the front yard, and then all of a sudden you come in yelling, Mrs. Bell, Mrs. Bell, and I look outside, and the four-wheeler is on its side, and Izzy's going, ah! She thought that she heard her groin.
Actually, did, so...
Do you remember that? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Hey, Izzy, do you remember when you were a baby, and every time the ice machine went off, you would like crawl everywhere you were in the house? You'd crawl right to the refrigerator to grab the ice so you can chew on it. Do you remember that?
No.
Do you remember that? You don't remember that?
No.
Hey Josh, do you remember when you were little and you got mad at people and you really didn't say bad words, so you'd call everybody a fuzzy bunny? You're a fuzzy bunny, you're a fuzzy bunny, and you think that you were putting people down by calling them a fuzzy bunny? Do you remember that?
No.
You don't remember that? You're a fuzzy bunny, you're a fuzzy bunny. Josh, do you remember when you were little and I put you down for a nap and all of a sudden I'd hear rip, rip, and I'd walk in there and you're tearing my wallpaper down off the wall? Yeah. Do you remember that?
Yes.
You do? And I'd have to put it up every time because you'd rip it.
Funny.
Yeah,
You don't know this one.
and I had to move your crib away from the wall because you kept ripping my wallpaper down. Do you remember that?
Yeah, it's
You
fun.
do? You remember that?
It's so fun.
Okay, Izzy, give me a remember when.
Do you remember when you put me down for a nap time, but I didn't want to sleep, so I'd tie the curtains together and I'd swing on them back and forth?
I don't remember that. And you knocked the whole curtain down?
Yeah, I remember it would just fall out and I'd act like I was sleeping, but I wasn't sleeping. You put it back up.
That's a great remember when. Gain, do you remember when you were little and you'd fall asleep like everywhere? I'd find you under the tables. I'd find you like all over the place. You're just sleeping and you'd have to have that mask on your face, like the little eye mask, or you wouldn't sleep at night. Also, when you went to sleep, your little bed was by my bed, and so you had to hold my hand in order to go to sleep. Do you remember that? Do you remember that, Gideon? Do you remember that? I'm ready. Remember
Gideon,
when?
Do you remember when you would wake up at 2 in the morning and stomp down to Mom and Dad's room? Mom, Dad?
Do you remember that?
Gideon, do you remember
I
that?
don't really care.
He still does that.
Dad, do you remember when we were little and we would hide from you because we didn't want to work?
No, you always ran to me and wanted jobs as you were growing up.
She leaves.
Hey, do you remember when our first date, I was wearing a black sweater and gray pants, and you said, "My, you have,"
Nice eyes.
and I said, "Big, beautiful eyes."
Big, beautiful eyes.
Do you remember that?
I do.
That was on our first date.
Florida, I mean.
Noah,
West Side.
do you remember when you were 3 years old, you came to our house in foster care, and you would disappear, and I called the foster care worker panicking because I lost you? This happened like every day, and I went to your brother's house because they were renting from us, right? And what were you doing?
Making chocolate milk.
You're making chocolate milk. You had climbed on the counter and made chocolate milk, and this happened every single day for like a couple weeks, and I was panicking because I'm like, where is Noah? He's lost. I'm gonna be in big trouble. But you would take off every day over there and make chocolate milk. 3 years old, walking through the woods all on your own to the rental. Do you remember that?
I do.
Yeah. Haley, do you remember when you were 9 and I heard you throwing up?
Where are you looking?
And right here. And I walked into your bedroom, I turned on the light, and you had thrown strawberries up all the way down the bunk beds.
Ladder?
There were strawberries on Izzy's face, all over her. She was sleeping. And I said, Haley, run to the bathroom because you had thrown up everywhere and it's hard to pick up strawberries. And you walked into the bathroom, threw up on the ground, then you threw up in the sink, then you threw up in the second sink, Then you threw up on the toilet. And then once you finally...
Her eyelashes. She's not
I'm not even looking because I don't know where to look.
You're supposed to look here. And once you finally got to the toilet, you said, Mom, I don't have to throw up anymore.
After you threw up on my face?
And I was very angry because it took me a while to clean up strawberries all over the place. Do you remember that? Do you remember the first time you came to our house and the very first meal I made was a really nice home-cooked meal and I had canned potatoes? And I told you in order
Okay, that's not fair because those potatoes made me so sick.
Yeah, and I said you had to eat it all up before you could leave. And what did you do?
I was told to picture it as a Hershey's chocolate bar. That's what you guys said.
And you threw up in your plate.
It was gross.
And I said, go to your room.
Gross.
It was... And so have I served you those ever since?
No, I've never eaten them ever since. Sometimes if I'm eating something, I'll get like a taste of it and it makes me want to throw up. I'll get like a reminiscing taste.
So I have a lot of stories of Haley throwing up. Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
And do you remember when the very first time you came to our house, we were going to meet you, and we were supposed to be coloring.
Nice, pretty feminine voice.
That's not my
She's
fault.
sick. Stop it.
Yeah,
okay.
what is
So do you remember when you came to our house for the very first time to meet us, and we were going to color eggs? No, we were going to ice cookies. No, color egg. No, ice cookies because it was almost Christmas time. And I was really excited, hoping we'd bond. And then David said we had a horse, and you and David left, me and the social worker, and you guys went and took off at the barn and just acted like I wasn't even around.
I do that all the time.
Do you remember that? Do you remember that?
I do remember that. But the only reason David did that is because I had a DS and he wanted to marry me.
Because the DS. David, do you remember the time you were little and Joshua was riding a four-wheeler and he ran over you? Haley and Reese Sheldon ran in the house to tell me that you were ran over. And so, of course, I panic, right? I panic.
Yeah.
And I start running out. I'm like, David, David, David. And this little small voice from under the four-wheeler says what?
What?
Remember what you said under the four-wheeler?
I'm under here.
I'm under here, Mom. It's okay.
And I didn't sound like that.
You did, because it was quiet. It was really quiet because you're under there. Joshy had jumped off and ran. So I was panicking. I couldn't move it off you. And Dad comes down. He's like, relax, Heather. And so we pulled it off you and you got up and just went about your business. You didn't even get hurt. Do you remember that?
Yeah. Actually, I think I came inside and watched the movie because I was cold. I don't want to be outside no more.
Yeah, because you're in the snow.
Yeah.
Pretty funny, hey?
It was at his birthday party.
It was at whose birthday party? Josh's?
Josh and Gideon's. You had that joint party together.
Yeah.
So we were all out there.
Oh my goodness, that's hilarious.
Yeah, I remember when it happened. I'm like, oh, look, there's Josh. I don't know, I was standing in the middle of the trail. See him coming. And then I'm like, oh, he ain't slowing down. Tried to run away, tripped on a stick. And I'm like, oh, this is it. My life's over. Just take me now. But then it didn't actually hurt that bad. But then, like, didn't even finish the job. Like, he just stopped on top of me. He could have just, like, ran me all the way over him. Be like, nah, dude. Like, just put it right there and stay on top of you. So, yeah, it was fun.
But you're here.
Yeah, because I've done many stupid things and I've gotten hurt. None, really. Because I'm invincible.
You're invincible.
Not really. I broke my collarbone and
Yeah.
most painful
Well,
time of
we'll
my
save
life.
those other memories for the next Throwback Thursday.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, Dody, do you remember when you lived in your first house and we decided we were going to color our hair? And we colored our hair and went outside on the back, laying in the sun, and our hair turned red. And we read the instructions and it says, when you dye your hair, don't go in the sun. So when we went to church the next day, we walked in and Pastor was like, what happened to your hair? Do you remember that?
No.
It was fire engine red hair, both of us. We ruined our hair.
Another fun day.
You don't remember that?
Well, kind of.
Okay. So Dody's gonna share a memory that she had with my husband Luke. Okay, go for it.
It was just before Halloween, and I decided to dress up like a clown. I got a big clown outfit with a great big red nose and big hat and big feet. And I walked out to where the end of the driveway where the bus stops and lets the kids off. And all the kids were hollering and cheering except for my kids that got off, and they walked straight by me with a straight face all the way into the house. And when Luke got in the house, he started splitting the gut laughing. He laughed so hard he fell off the couch. He laughed for about a half an hour straight. That was a fun day.
And there's more of that
There
with
is?
Grandma Dody to come. All right, well, there's our Throwback Thursday. Just share memories with you of our family of 10 of when the kids were little. Stay tuned for next week when we bring you more memories about our family when they were babies, toddlers, teenagers, and maybe they'll have memories of me and my husband. Hopefully good. So yeah, stay tuned for next week and happy Throwback Thursday.